Hi my dear students. Today we will start with the second part of class 10 topic chemical reactions and equations. In this video we will learn about the remaining three types of chemical reaction. Displacement reaction. This is, as the name suggests, displace. So here we will be observing that a higher reactive element will displace a lower reactive element from its compound. In this reaction, both metals and non-metals take part in the reaction. How will you find out that which element is more reactive or less reactive so that the displacement reaction takes place? Yes. So we are going to see the reactivity series, which will be a list of metals arranged in the order of their decreasing activity or reactivity. Here we can see the reactivity series of few metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum, where potassium is the most reactive element, and down the column we see that silver, gold and platinum are the least reactive metals, whereas gold and platinum are considered to be the noble metals found in the native state. Students, you have to learn this reactivity series, and you can create your own mnemonics to learn the reactivity series. For you all the learners, I have given an example where PSC Mazzi can be considered as the name of a lawyer, left high court to find my silver, gold, platinum, where P stands for potassium, S for sodium, C for calcium, and so on. So the next reaction, for better understanding, let's see the examples of the displacement reaction. Here we can see that ironane has been inserted in the copper sulfate solution, and we have done this as an experiment in class 9th and 10th. We find that ironane gets a brown coating and copper sulfate color gets faded to green color ferrous sulfate solution. So we say that iron is more reactive than copper, hence it displaces copper from copper sulfate to form ferrous sulfate. Another example is where zinc granules are added in an acid. It can be sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, and we observe that a colorless solution of zinc sulfate is formed and bubbles of hydrogen gas is observed. Hydrogen gas can be tested by bringing a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, and a pop sound can be heard and the gas burns with a blue flame. The fourth type of reaction is double displacement reaction, in which a chemical reaction is taking place where the exchange of ions takes place between two salt solutions taking part in the reaction. This can be classified as a precipitation reaction and a neutralization reaction. Precipitation reaction, students, is a reaction when two salt solutions taking part in the reaction exchange ions and an insoluble salt is formed in the solution. That substance is known as a precipitate and the reaction is known as precipitation reaction. We have already done in a practicals where we have added sodium sulfate and barium chloride, and we got a white precipitate of barium sulfate, which will be a precipitate, so downward arrow, and sodium chloride is formed. Another example is of lead nitrate, which is reacted with potassium iodide in equal proportion. They mix together, exchange the ions and form a yellow precipitate of lead iodide, and potassium nitrate is in an aqueous state is formed. Remember to balance the equations. Another type of double displacement reaction will be known as the neutralization reaction, where an acid and a base are considered as two solutions which exchange the ions and form salt and water. Here an example which we have taken is hydrochloric acid reacted with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, and we get sodium chloride, that is salt, and water. Hence, any acid and base reaction can be also considered as double displacement reaction. Last type of reaction is oxidation and reduction. In this reaction, students, you need to understand the concept of oxidation. Oxidation is defined as addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen from a substance. In this example, magnesium ribbon when burnt in presence of oxygen forms magnesium oxide. So magnesium is oxidized to magnesium oxide. If we heat copper, then reddish brown copper oxidizes to black color copper oxide. Substance which gains oxygen or undergoes oxidation is known as a substance oxidized. Reduction reaction, which will be defined as the addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen from the reactant in a chemical reaction. It is just the opposite of oxidation, and hence when a substance is undergoing reduction, that substance will be considered as a substance reduced. When both oxidation and reduction reaction takes place together, it is known as the redox reaction. In case if there is no oxygen or hydrogen, then we can identify the redox reaction by observing that is there a loss of electron or a gain of electron by the substance. In this picture, we can see that X is losing the electron to Y. So X is a substance undergoing oxidation and Y is gaining the electron. So it is a substance which is undergoing reduction. Hence, the substance which is oxidized will be considered as a reducing agent, and the substance which gets reduced can be called as an oxidizing agent. This is very important to understand. To make your understanding more clear, let's see some examples. The first example is copper oxide with hydrogen giving you copper and water. So here we can see that copper has oxygen is removed from copper oxide. So copper oxide is reduced and hydrogen is oxidized. Similar example, we can see that zinc oxide is reduced to zinc and carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide. Another example is of MnO2 with HCl, where MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2 as oxygen is removed, and hydrochloric acid, either we can say that oxygen is added to it to form water, so it is the substance oxidized, or if we see hydrochloric acid getting converted to chlorine, then hydrogen is removed. So again it will be considered as a substance oxidized. The last example is based on oil and rig, that is sodium undergoes oxidation as loss of electron has taken place, and chlorine undergoes reduction as gain of electron has taken place to form ions. So students, I hope you are clear with all these things, and let's see whether you are able to answer my questions. First one, what do you mean by displacement reaction? What is reactivity series? What is double displacement reaction and their types? Define oxidation and reduction reaction. How do you identify the substance oxidized and substance reduced? In my next video, we will learn about the remaining two topics, that is effects of oxidation, where I will be explaining corrosion and rancidity in detail and would be sharing with you some very important questions based on board point of view. If you want the answers also, please comment below, and any doubts related to this topic you can ask in the comment section. I will be answering all of them. For that you need to like, subscribe. Thank you.